Oh, the race with Cookie. All right, so the question was about the race with Robert Cooper. And so I don't know if any of you've seen it. It really was, it's something that started off. It wasn't for anything to go outside of our program. But, I talk about being an action-based program. I want to make sure that every day after stretch lines that we start practice with a purpose. And so I went and found the biggest person on the team. I said, look, when that whistle blows to start the day, let's go sprint our butts off to the end of the field and just show that the head coach and the biggest guy on the team can do it, that we might inspire others to come with us. And what I've loved about Robert is when I first got here, he's a big man. And one of the things that I've always challenged him with is, let's do the little things to show that finish, to show that effort, to show that passion. And where can we find times to help get you in shape? What better way to start than racing me? And I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little competitive, so I don't like losing. And Robert's a pretty good recruiter because he's got a lot of those D linemen that are coming after me there at the beginning of practice. But it's just a symbolic gesture. And, as I told Robert, the first time it was just he and I. Second time, just he and I. And then all of a sudden you start looking back and what do you see? More people coming with you. Actions, more than words. And it's one of my favorite things there at practice now. Yes?
From the end of last year to the first week in fall, who's the dog on defense and the skill position player that has made the biggest wow from last year?
That's a great question. I would say defensively, I want to say a room, the linebacker room. You sit there and you look at guys like Kalen DeLoach, DJ Lundy, Amari Gaynor, Tatum Bethune coming in, Brennan Gant, right? Stephen Dix. Watching that group, the mindset and the approach. Our first couple of years we've been young there. There's been some real challenges. Guys that have come in and play as true freshmen, but just the mentality of what they're bringing to practice every day, the excitement, the competition. That's been one of the things that's been probably the greatest joy for me to watch is just that collective group. We know that a lot of the guys in the defensive backfield, and obviously it all starts up front for us defensively. But seeing that group and how they've grown up is something I'm really proud of. Looking offensively, I've got a lot of exciting things that are there offensively. I would say Jordan is an easy one to point to, just because of his growth. But I'm excited about that running back room. We talked about the offensive line a little bit earlier, and yes, that has been a drastic change, right? From where we are to maybe where we had to come, what we had to come through, which is so many young guys playing. But that running back room, Trey Ward, Lawrence Toafili, Trey Benson. It's Rodney Hill, a freshman newcomer. Excited about what I'm seeing from him. Right? It is Jakai. It is a exciting group that has a lot of great playmakers in it, but they do it all. Right? They're not just these prima donnas that are going to go out there and play hard when the ball's in their hands. Watching them pass protect gets me excited. Because when you have that mentality and that edge that I'm going to play without the ball in my hands, just as good as I'm playing with it, that gives you those characteristics to really help lead and showcase some wonderful things. And I think that group's done it as well. Yes?
Hey, Coach. So after coaching in Memphis for 4 years, what is the adjustment you had made to come to a big school like Florida State and coaching in a Power 5 conference?
To say adjustments, I believe in what we do. I believe in developing people, staff, players, being able to establish, an organized approach to how we do all that we do to help promote and build the personnel that we have. Coming to Florida State, we've been able to, and a lot of thanks to Michael Alford and our administration, we've been able to expand personnel. being able to develop our personnel department, to be able to have different elements of whether it's sports science. We hired a director of sports science who I think has been incredible this year. The nutritional aspect of it. But when it comes down to the work, right, I've only been a part of it one way. I've played the game or coached the game of football since I was 5 years old. Right, and in all reality, I've only been a part of three seasons with a losing record. I can tell you when the last two were. Okay, so I've only been a part of doing things to a certain standard. But you have to get it right at the foundational level. And these are great kids that I get to coach. And you sit there and you look at our team now, and I tell them, and every guy that we have on our team, right, they said yes, and so did we. We've got some guys that have been here for the last 3 years. Let me tell you, they're tough sons of guns. They're tough because they've been challenged. They've had to go through it. And there's college football nowadays. There's some easy ways out. But then all the young men that we've been able to bring in, right, we found the right fits. Now, I want the biggest, strongest, fastest, best fit for Florida State. And being here, we have an incredible opportunity to attract unbelievable young men. We've got some guys that have been rated really, really high, and they're going to be really, really exciting to watch. We've had some guys that, we trusted our evaluation. They're going to be really exciting to watch too. But it's about finding guys that have it here and have it here, along with the physical tools and the physical talents to go out there and play in a way to compete at a championship level. And then it's about their continued growth and development when they go through that process. So, I've been as a coordinator at big school. This is a special place. It's a special opportunity. So for me, it's about doing it the right way on all levels when it comes to the development of staff, personnel, and obviously the players we get to coach. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you say you don't have any cap on expectations. So do you believe, as a team believe, they can beat any team they face?
Absolutely. And when you sit there and you look at it, you could I know the steps that we've taken. I see it at practice. We go through the work. But you look back from experience. Last year, which it was a different team. But there's like 1-2 games that were not a one-score game there at the end. There were a lot of close games that could have gone either way, but we have to be more consistent. And I do believe that's coming. Right, but this team shows that they can play with anybody. We just have to keep improving day in and day out, becoming the best version of us at a very consistent level with those things that I talked about earlier, about that identity. All right, one more. Yes?
Can you talk about the new additions in the wide receiver room, the impact that they've made on the existing receivers, and then what can we expect to see maybe a little bit different with regards to the production this coming year, without giving too much away?
Yeah, no, I'm excited about our receiver room, and you look at the guys that we've been able to bring in, whether Michael Pittman, Johnny Wilson, Deuce Spann, obviously Winston Wright, who not going to be available here this week, but he's still continuing on his rehab from the car accident this spring. But you see those guys and their size, their speed, their just football playing ability. I'm really excited about who they are. What they've done with a group that has grown and developed. You guys like Malik McLean, Pokey Wilson. You sit there and you see Kentron Portier. Ja'Kai, as he was working receiver and running back. When you see those guys, they continue to develop. Right? It's exciting for me because you see the playmaking ability that they have. But when you add competition into that room, one, you're creating depth, but you're also, guys, you can't have an off day. You've got to continue to push. You've got to focus on those little things and you have an opportunity to go out there and perform when your number's called. Because if you don't, you won't be playing. And so just that really infusion of talent and size and athletic ability, but also the right guys. Playing receiver, that's my heart. It's what I played. I love that position. And seeing these guys grow and develop as they have, I think Coach Dugans has done a great job with them. And it's been a challenging. There's been some challenges in that room over the last couple of years that we've had to work through. But I'm excited about where we are and the playmakers that we're going to have out there on the edge. And we need them to play big. We need that to be an explosive part of this football team. And I absolutely believe that we have the capabilities to be able to do that. Well, guys, thank you so much for tonight. Can't wait to see you Saturday night. Go Wolves!
Thanks everybody for the same season.